Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, Episode 17, Too Late for Love. So we're just going to get on into it. As you guys can see by my eyes are a little red. I just got done crying. I'll get to why I was crying in a minute. But we're going to first start with Sarper and Shekinah. I'm going to get them out the way quick. Remember where we left off last week when Shekinah put the air tag in Sarper's keychain, basically, and everything to find where he's at because he went missing, but he was just at the coffee shop, and she found him at the coffee shop because basically he's getting cold feet. He's really nervous about getting married because he's been married before. Shekinah's never been married. So they meeting at the coffee shop, and Sarper's wondering, how did you find me? And she said that I put an air tag in your keychain so I could find the keys. And again, what's the real reason and stuff? You don't like to share your location and everything. And he was like, sharing the location is like it's so not mistrusting. Like, you don't trust me. I'm not cheating on you, Shekinah. And she was like, I'm not accusing you of that. It's just saying. And then so they started talking about the wedding and his nervousness and everything. She kind of tried to calm him down, to make him feel like it's going to be all right marrying her and everything. And had to remind him of the obvious that, like, if he doesn't get married now, he has to go back to Turkey. So, like, they talk about it, and it's just whatever. So now we also remember with Sarper Shekinah, they want to do some kind of like betting type wedding, whatever. I still really don't understand. So they they did end up going to the vineyard, and the bed space that Shekinah wanted, it just wasn't her style. So Shekinah just starts having a meltdown and starts crying and everything, just because like it's just things were just not right. So she called the wedding planner, and the planner had to come in and say, okay, so what if we put it right here or move it around like this? How's this gonna work? And everything. And Shekinah calmed down for it. The wedding planner said, it's common for people before the wedding to have like a meltdown. So I'm not surprised by this meltdown. And she did that. So she agreed. So then Sarper and Shekinah were playing with the bed a little bit, and then started doing their little dumb role playing and stuff and everything. And yeah, they're putting like face masks on and stuff and everything. Like I said, I really don't understand this betting thing that they're doing for the wedding. Like, I think it's weird, but whatever floats their boat. So yeah, that was Sarper and Shekinah. Next couple I'm going to talk is Greg and Joan. So Greg and Joan. So remember what happened last week? Greg had the times messed up, and like everybody was supposed to arrive at the same time the ceremony was supposed to start. So him and his mom had to rush to call everybody, say, hey, change the time, arrive at this time. He was nervous about that. And but basically he got it through, and Greg and Joan, we have our first real official wedding. I'll get the other one of the season. Greg and Joan got married. It was beautiful. It was very beautiful. A lot of tears, like nice words and everything. I'm glad Greg was able to make it happen. Joan looked beautiful. It was a beautiful ceremony. 10 out of 10 on that one. So there really wasn't much else to say about that. Like, it was just a beautiful ceremony. This is what we wait for 90 Day Fiancé, like the weddings. Like, some people don't like the weddings. Some people just want to see the journey and not do the weddings. I like the weddings because this is what the show is about. It's about the weddings. The fiancé visa and the 90 days. The 90 days are up. It's time to get married and show the wedding and stuff. So that was a beautiful ceremony by Greg and Joe. So yeah, so moving on. Next couple I want to talk is Sean and Aaliyah. Now, last week, Sean and Aaliyah Aaliyah was getting married. Now remember, Sean's mother had took a fall, and she had to be sat in a wheelchair and everything. She did not want to go to the hospital right away, and because she wanted to see Sean get married. Aaliyah and her friend are taking forever to get married. And remember how pissed I was last week about it? Is that Aaliyah was just so focused. Now I understand that yes, it's your wedding day, you want to look beautiful, but like I said, the ceremony was in the evening. You've had all day, and for them to be almost 2 hours late like that, it was one, disrespectful to the whole process. Two, more disrespect because, like I said, Aaliyah knew about Sean's mother and everything, and she possibly Sean's mom put her pride aside and risked her life. Be like, you know what, I don't care. If I want to see my son get married, and Aaliyah did not understand that, and so finally in this episode, Aaliyah and her friend arrived to the wedding, and Sean had already walked off. He's like, not having it, not having it. And the friend was like, you look so good in your suit. And he's like, oh, thank you. You can see it as I'm driving away and everything. So he wanted to drive away. So he just told him, like, look, we're just going to literally go up and say, I do, have a couple drinks and head on out. And that's what literally what happened. He went to the officiant and said, just do what you have to do legally. And that's it. So Sean and Leah, they go up. Literally, the officiant was like, do you take one another to be your husband and wife? I do. They walked off quietly, not talking. They go into the reception. And, they decided to do a toast, and Sean was just like, I'm not standing up. He's like, just thank you guys all for coming. Even Aaliyah, thank you for coming, for showing up and everything. And that's it. He basically got married so angrily. And this is what really pissed me off. Aaliyah, went up to, Sean's mom, and Sean's mom actually apologized to Aaliyah and everything. I'm like, why is she apologizing? It should be Aaliyah that should be apologizing. Sean's mom did not have to apologize. Aaliyah should have been the one to apologize. This is I was irritated with Sean all season, but now I'm irritated with Aaliyah because throughout the whole season, she's been so focused on her, so selfishly focused her body, her transition, and all that, her glamorous style and everything, that, like I said, somebody could have died because of her selfishness. And it'll be one thing if she wasn't aware about what happened to Sean's mom, but she was aware. And I don't know, that really did not sit well with me and everything. And Sean is just just doing this because I have to, basically. Now, he don't really want to be with her, and I can't wait to see what that conversation is next week. That still rubbed me the wrong way, that I was still really upset about that. So, yeah. That was Sean and Aaliyah. Next couple I'm going to talk is Stevie and Maddie. So 2 weeks ago, we left off with the final question of, is Stevie bisexual? And she gave this time she gave a heartfelt answer. She was like, I didn't realize how much all of this meant to you and how I almost could have lost you, basically, and everything. I care about you. No, I'm not bisexual. I just like men and only you. No women and stuff and everything. And, Maddie, throughout the season, Stevie, I agree with Maddie that Stevie did give vague responses and stuff. But, Maddie finally calmed down about it and now is in love with Stevie and stuff. But Maddie's friend, Saeed, is still I don't know what's wrong with him, why he's dipping and dapping and everything. So we see Maddie go talk to his friend. He said, I talked to Stevie, she's not bisexual, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you really gonna believe that and everything? And now Maddie's actually feeling I'm kind of worried about Saeed now because, yes, I may have indulged in too much information, but now I'm just scared that he's gonna ruin the wedding. And so now Saeed wants to go Stevie's now getting ready for putting her dress on. By the way, Stevie's dress had just came in the mail, literally just came in the mail on her wedding day. So she has to get it out of a box and get her friends to put it on and stuff. And then here comes Saeed saying, "Stevie, can I talk to you?" I'm like, bro, you got all, like, you're just gonna interrupt, like, the bridesmaids and the girls putting on wedding dresses just to be nosy and stuff. Like, what the heck is wrong with him? Like, but judging by the previews of next week, Stevie and Maddie are gonna say I do with no problems. So, but I don't know what's wrong with that friend though. Like, throughout this whole season, I don't get like some of these people's friends and stuff. Like, why are they so involved? And yes, production may egg a situation on and stuff. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. But yeah. So yeah, that was Stevie and Maddie. Now here's why I've been crying. It was Mark and Mina. Let's talk Mark and Mina. Last week, Mina got the news that her son Clayton couldn't make it in time to America for the wedding. And, she was devastated. And, but, they all had Clayton believing that he was coming, and he was going to be there for the wedding and stuff. He was going to be there soon. He was all excited. He had his bags packed and everything. And Mina is just like, oh, I don't know if I could get married. And Mark had to calm her down and everything and stuff. And, he went out and talked to her, and he said, like, look, he may not be here for the wedding, but he's still coming. It's not like it's not like it's like all over. He's still coming and stuff. So, we're gonna go do the wedding. We're gonna make sure he's on video chat and everything. We're gonna have like a seat saved for him with his face. I know it's not the same, but his presence is gonna be there one way or the other. So Mina calms down for that. So they get back home, and they're having this like all American celebration and everything. Had it like they were putting up some flags and a picture of Colonel Sanders, the dude from and everything. And Mina was wondering like, who is this? And this is the guy that's on the KFC. And I'm like, what the heck? So then Mark and Mina's sister, I think her name was Alex, told Mina, like, have you talked to Clayton? You got to talk to Clayton, basically. And she's like, no, but he's like, no, you got to do it sooner. It has to be now. It has to be now. He needs to know now. She gets on the phone, we're on video call with him, and she had to break the news that it's not possible for him to come right now for the wedding and everything. Broke that kid's heart. He's like, what? I'm not coming to the U.S. That's all I wanted. And everything. And he just started crying. And once he started crying, I started crying. And I'm getting even teary-eyed just thinking about it. Oh, man. That made me emotional. Like, this is like literally the first time 90 Day Fiancé made me cry, and how I'm even teary-eyed even doing a recap video of this. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. Clayton said that he just wanted to give his mom a hug. It was so emotional. It was very emotional. I get emotional with that because, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but anytime I see, African American kids, I mean, Clayton's not American, but, I'm just going to say it like this. And anytime I see, young Black kids in a heartfelt moment with their mother, always tears me up. It always does. I'm a mama's boy myself. I mean, I'm not like Colt. I'm not mama's boy like Colt or Greg, or I don't need like someone to bathe me or anything. I'm not that kind of mama's boy, but I love my mama dearly. We're, as we get older, stuff comes up, things on the horizon come, just that's just life. That's just part of life. But seeing that kid cry, whew, sorry guys. I'm sorry guys. Whew. Oh man. That was emotional. That just got me really emotional. I need to go into the final. I need to go into the final couple before I just start bawling. Anyway, final couple I want to talk is the throuple. Oh my goodness. So last week with the throuple, Annie, aka Brenda, told her aunt and her rest of her family members that she's dating both of them, basically, and basically wants the blessing and got the blessing that that it's okay, cool, whatever, whoop-de-doo. Now this episode, it's Matt and Minnie's last day before they go back to America and stuff. And now there's one more order of business that needs to be said and done. And that means Annie has to choose who she wants to marry, because let's rewind. Matt and Minnie have to divorce in order to apply for the K1 visa to bring Annie to the States. So they go to this place that this ancient place in Mexico. Looks like it was like a little restaurant, like an old church, like this one of those old ancient buildings, basically. And they're running around, playing in the fields and taking pictures and kissing and all that. And then they sit down to have the conversation. It's time for Annie to decide who she actually wants to marry between Matt and Minnie. And Minnie had said that she will respect her decision one way or the other and everything. But she was also like, but I hope it's me. I hate to be selfish in the moment, but I hope it's me and stuff. So Annie chooses her decision, and not to my surprise, she chose Matt. What did I say last week? Is that she's going to choose Matt. And I was right. She chose Matt. Matt's all excited and everything. Minnie just feels like her whole world just like ended and everything. She just starts crying, like, why not me? Why not me? And everything. Annie feels that Matt will just bring that masculinity, chose Matt because of that masculinity type thing and whatever and everything, and just feels like that Minnie is just like too controlling and will boss her around, and she's even scared that if she was to get married, that she would kick her out of the house, basically. And so, Minnie asked her own husband, do you think I'm controlling? Like, no. And Matt said that he did not go into this thinking that my wife was going to be hurt. This is not like the plan. Like, we knew we had to do this, but we didn't want anybody to be hurt out of this, basically. Now, obviously, Minnie lied and said that, as when she said that she didn't care who she would respect who she chose and everything. She does care, because she says plenty of times throughout the season that her being from Tunisia and just not being not too many people's number one basically in her life, she just feels like betrayed, because now she has to divorce her husband and her girlfriend, and her girlfriend don't even want to marry her. Now, yeah, well, that's part of being in a throuple. That's the con about being in a throuple. See, you shouldn't be this is why thruples don't work. I don't understand this thruple thing. I know there's plenty of them around here, but I just don't get it because of situations like this. Now, I'm tired of the comments of saying, "Oh, this is produced stage BS and everything, blah blah blah, and all that and everything." And many took. I think I saw someone on many social media said that everything is real. By the way, so we could just knock that part off. Yes, I do know like production will egg a situation on to make it more than what it really is. I just recently also saw an interview with Clayton. Remember Clayton that was with Anna Lee from last season of 90 Day Fiance? He said that, he would do it again. He said that he was fine with himself watching himself on TV. Yes, he gets a lot of hate, but he claps back and stuff. And he said he would do it again. So, and then, the people who don't get along with production or don't do what they want them to do and their things don't go the way they want them and their relationships also fail are the ones that call it fake. Like, like remember Riley that was with Violet from season 5 of Before the 90 Days? He's like that. Statler made it known that she that she didn't get along. It's the people who do not get along with production or everything that call the show fake and produce. But, other people have said that, not everybody's experiences are the same. So so it's like that with some and some it's not. I do know production makes, like I said, makes situation. Even Clayton said, like, if you're in a foreign relationship, I don't recommend you going on 90 Day Fiance because it'll just test your patience and test your limits. And I can agree with that because I do think that the show, like a lot of these couples, like them being on the show breaks them up. I think the classic example of being on the show of the breakup goes all the way back to Andrew and Amira. Remember Andrew and Amira, like when it was during COVID, they were supposed to meet in Mexico for a vacation and then fly into the United States, like to do their 90 days. Well, when Amira landed in Mexico, she got detained for a couple of days and then got deported back to France. And then she had to go to Serbia. And then when she got to Serbia, it was fine. But then her and Andrew got into a fight and they broke up. So being on the show, because I was really pulling for Andrew and Amira. I was like, this is about to be the love story of the century. And just all of that had happened. And I think like them being on the show, like really hurt, like ended their relationship, in my opinion. So yeah, but I digress with that. But Matt and Minnie and Annie, and judged by the previews of next week, Annie is just not taking this. I mean, Minnie is just not taking this really well and everything, and she's going to be lashing out and everything, and yeah. And we will be talking about it because this is going to be one of the things that I talk about when I talk to them. So I'll get more clarity of this whole situation with Matt and Minnie. But yeah, I knew that Annie was going to choose Matt, but I still stand corrected. She is playing them both. Like she's going to say that, okay, first when they get there, she has sex with just Matt and everything. Then they all get into a fight, and then Minnie and Annie get into a fight, and then Annie says, "Oh, I care about you more than him," and everything. Lies. And then now she's choosing him to get married to. So yeah, Annie's just playing games. She don't really know what she wants out of this. But yeah, that was the throuple. We did not see Jessica and Juan in this episode, but next week is the regular season finale of 90 Day Fiancé, so we'll see Jessica and Juan get married, we'll see Stevie and Maddie get married, and we'll see Mark and Mina get married, and we'll see Sarper and Shekinah get married. Like I said, we already got to see Greg and Joan and Sean and Aaliyah get married, so we'll see the other 4 couples get married next week. Obviously, Matt and Minnie and Annie are not going to get married next week. so yeah. But anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. I'm sorry I had that little cry moment and everything. Forgive me for that. Like I said, that just, when Mina told her son that, it tore me up. I felt so bad. But anyway, guys, that's my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on tomorrow to recap 90 Day Hunt for Love. And I'm telling you, that show is something else. I like it. And then also, before I forget, We got we didn't see a trailer yet, but there's been articles and everything that leaked out for the Happily Ever After cast. There's gonna be 8 couples. I'm thinking. Remember last year there was 9 couples. Right now they have 8. I'm projecting one more couple, and I'm thinking it'll be somebody from this season of 90 Day. And I hope to just to keep the balance. The couples are going to be Brandon and Julia, who were just on The Last Resort. Okay, whatever. I guess they're bringing back Gina and Jasmine, but separately. Don't know why. Don't know why. No comment. A surprising couple, Kara and Guillermo. Now, Kara and Guillermo, rumor has it that they split up. I don't know why they're coming to Happily Ever After just to see their split. That's why I can't stand Happily. This is the spinoff I always dread. I cannot stand Happily Ever After for this reason. We're just going to see Kara and Guillermo split. Everyone knows that they split. Kara's been traveling, doing music and stuff and everything. Guillermo, we seen him on 90 Day Diaries, but that was filmed a while ago, that Guillermo wanted to quit his job and go to school for air pilot and stuff, and Kara didn't like that. So I guess we're going to see the continuation of that. We're going to see Lauren and Lexi. They'll be back. We're hoping, everybody's projecting that she probably wants to do another surgery, another mommy makeover, or have another kid. Next couple is Elizabeth and Andre. And we should have known that they were coming back. I knew they couldn't be off the screen too long. They weren't on last season of Happily Ever After, but they're coming. I knew that was just short lived. I think when they were on Diaries, they were talking about moving to Moldova and stuff. So we'll just see. We'll see more of Elizabeth's family drama, more than likely, and stuff and everything. Next couple is Jovi and Yara. Same thing. I knew they weren't going to stay off the screens that long. My only thing is with Jovi and Yara is that, I really cannot deal with Yara's whining and complaining all the time and everything. They seem to be doing okay, but, I don't know if I'll be able to handle Yara's whining all the time and complaining. So, we'll see. Next couple, they got freaking Darcy and Georgie. For what? I'm serious. For what? For what for? Why do we have Darcy and Georgie? The storyline is going to be the same, too. It's going to be, he's cheating on me. He don't love me and everything. I need this because we're going back to Turkey to get snatched again and everything for another surgery. And so, because they were just literally, not filmed, but literally, Darcy and Stacey were just in Turkey for another surgery. So yeah, I don't know why we're having Darcy and Georgie. It's just going to be, why? So that's 7. Who am I missing? So we did Gina and Jasmine, Kara and Guillermo, Darcy and Georgie, Elizabeth and Andre, Jovi and Yara, Brandon and Julia, Lauren and Alexi. And who's the 8th couple? There was one. Oh, the 8th couple. Tiger Lily and Adnan. Tiger Lily and Adnan. Remember them? They were on this past season of Before the 90 Days. Tiger Lily, bougie. Adnan, the baby controlling dude. He just makes me cringe. No comment. And that's the couples. Like I said, I'm projecting one couple from this current season of 90 Day. I'm going to, like I said, my prediction will be Mark and Mina. I do think Mark and Mina will be on Happily Ever After this year. So we'll see if they add them in. I hope they are, because we do need some. We need a new face in the Happily Ever After. Like I said, I cannot stand that spinoff at this point. I may do what I did with The Last Resort. I may only cover a couple episodes. When the trailer comes out, I'll see if I'll cover it fully or not. But just, we don't have Angela and Michael. We don't have Ed and Liz. But we still got, like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to deal with Yara's complaining and Darcy's dramatics and everything. And Kara and Guillermo, we already know they split. So, like, and then, of course, we still got Gina and Jasmine stuff, So I really don't know. I really don't know, guys. But like I said, we'll see when the trailer comes out. But anyway, guys, again, that's the end of my review. Again, sorry for the crying and stuff and everything. But I'll see y'all again tomorrow for my recap of 90 Day Hunt for Love. Love you guys. Bye.